Hey guys, it's JaffiePlays. Today we are talking Wayfinder. Let's talk everything to do within the core gameplay loop of the current early access, and some of the stuff they said could be a possibility in the future. So let's go over some of the things you will be doing within the core gameplay. Story quests. These will be the early game go-to path. When you load the game, you will be prompted to choose a character out of the initial three, this being Wingrave, Nis, or Silo. After choosing a character, you'll be thrown into a tutorial, this roughly being 15 minutes long. Once the tutorial is complete, you'll be sent out to Skylight and ultimately start doing the story missions. I recommend just following this initially, and it will teach you a lot of the basic systems. Side quests and daily jobs. These will be things all over Evernorth. They will give you small rewards for doing them, and something I recommend just doing whenever you pass them or want to do something outside of dungeon grinding. Lost zones. These are the meat of the game and the place you will be a lot of the time. In these lost zones, you will travel to different dungeons that are randomly generated upon entering, giving you a different play experience each time. But in these dungeons, you're encouraged to explore all the zones within the given dungeon for more rewards, as well as run into bosses that will drop specific materials for crafted items and characters. Within lost zones, you can add imbuements to change the way that these play and what spawns. Once again, this will be the main meat of the game, meaning you will run these a lot. Item and character crafting. This is a main component of the game, and in this game you are encouraged to go and collect all the characters and items. I recommend going to the vendors and figuring out what you need to farm to start, then going out and farming their materials in order to craft the item or character. This is how you will keep yourself motivated and moving the goalposts a lot of the time. This will keep you occupied for some time, as it's not just simply craft an item and then you are done. You have to then go and level the item, farm echoes to maximize the power of the weapon, and you also have to master the weapon. Housing. This is one of the best side activities to waste hours of time. I won't go into depth on the housing, just know it's actually important to your gameplay, as the items within the house will reward you daily items and buffs. Open world zones. There are two initial open world zones for you to explore, and they are full of things to do. These zones will be shared spaces, meaning that you will see other players roaming around with you. You will gain daily exploration rewards. There are secrets all around these zones. Some will require jumping puzzles, and others that just leave you wondering how the hell you get there. Public events. These are events that randomly pop up as you are roaming around, allowing you and others in the area to complete it to gain rewards. I'm sure some of these will have specific rewards for certain weapons and characters also. World bosses. These will be all over the zones. Some of them require items in order to spawn them, and others will just be sat there in the world. These world bosses will need multiple players in order to complete them. Hunts. These are individual boss fights. Think Monster Hunter here, where you load into a zone, you have to defeat the boss in order to receive the boss's rewards. These will be repeatable, allowing you to farm them over and over in order to receive specific materials required to once again craft an item or upgrade a current item. So, early game. Your goal will be just to simply follow the tutorial and the quests that follow. Going through these quests should teach you the basics of each system, such as the lost zones, hunts, open world, and item crafting. Mid to late game, the choices get a lot more simpler in terms of what to do with the gameplay loop. This is also the part of the game where it becomes your choice depending on what you want to target farm. Lost zones or hunts will always be a good choice, as it always gives you materials and specific items that you will need in order to craft or upgrade items. Open world could have specific items within a world boss or public event that you need to go and chase, or maybe even hidden within a secret area. I've listed off the majority of the gameplay that you'll be doing during early access. Using that, you'll be able to understand what you will be doing in the game and how each of the activities will benefit you. Overall, you'll be doing an activity that you will be needing at the time, depending on what you are trying to target farm. Let's go over some of the future gameplay features that we could see. Maybe not during early access, but maybe with the free-to-play launch. PvP, this is a big one, and something I would like to see at some point also. I don't think they need to rush into it at all. I could see some sort of arena-like mode working in this game. This is something a lot of people are currently asking about, and something that developers have not said no to. It's just currently not on their agenda within early access. Lastly, raids. Another big topic. This one, however, is actually already in designing phase. They have not noted the size of the parties, just know that it will be larger than the current 3 people teams. Other than raids being in design and having more than 3 players, there's not much we know, but we could expect this with the free-to-play as a big launching feature. Hopefully this helps you understand the core gameplay that will be there within early access, along with helping you understand what we'll be doing on a daily basis playing the game. I want to quickly add on a few bonus pieces of news here. The system requirements for the PC have just been announced. I'll put them on the screen for you now, so you can go ahead and pause and read them, or a link to the Steam page in the description below. The last quick bonus piece. The Wayfinder original soundtrack has been released on all music streaming platforms. Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, you name it. I will leave links to the full playlist in the description below, so you guys can go and listen. Also, if you enjoyed the video, I have other Wayfinder content on my channel. As always, I look forward to seeing you all in Wayfinder and in the next video.